Alright, what is going on, guys? Crypto Mac here, bringing another crypto video. Today I want to take a look at Wax and just do a quick update video on this coin. There's not a lot to discuss, to be honest. There's a little bit to discuss looking more on a long-term look, especially from historically where we've held support. There's a chart I want to get to in a second, but I just want to say this is not financial advice, so please do your own research. So when we look at this, we can see Wax was in this falling wedge. We said this was taking place and that it's likely we'll break to the upside. That happened, hit our target perfectly, and then we corrected pretty hard around the time Bitcoin just went even lower. So we saw a correction here of 30% and then kind of just consolidated, moving sideways in a descending triangle, which is bearish, and we're now breaking out from this. So all in all, Wax at 49 cents. You can see it's not actually doing too well currently. Wax all-time high is at 98 cents up here, just at below that $1 mark. So that's basically like my big target to get back up to the all-time highs. I think you can easily get there. I mean, the market cap isn't overly high for Wax. We can compare it to other NFT-related coins and a bunch of other coins. Like if you compare it to the top 10, top 20 coins, the market cap isn't nearly as high. So it just shows there's so much room for growth, and Wax needs to go a lot higher. So I think that's like our main target, to get back up to all-time high levels. And if Bitcoin and the entire market begins to go on a rally again and head higher, I think Wax could easily get back up there. This is the graph I want to look at. So we can see here I've got the logarithmic graph, and I'm on the weekly time frame. You can see this line of support that we've just been holding since like June. We've been holding this line, and I thought I want to do some bit of heavy speculation. Why not? It'd be good fun. So we can kind of draw this line out. It's a bit different on the daily with the candles and the wicks. But here's what I want to do. I want to take it, because it seems to be in this trajectory where it's just heading higher. There's corrections, but it's just slowly inching its way higher and higher, and following this line. So what if we were to place this where it's currently at? And what if it's to follow this line? And obviously it's not going to follow it perfectly. It probably won't follow it much at all. But if it does tend to just keep going along this line, like once we break through this line as support, then I'd say this is, this pattern's done and this line's no longer valid. But for the moment, whilst we're holding as support, we're just slowly going to keep inching our way higher and higher. Well, things to look at. Well, firstly, let's look at the actual just length of time. So if I were to play this out again, it would indicate this would play out till May next year. And in my opinion, the market could definitely still be in the bull market cycle around this time. It may not have topped by then. So there's a chance that we're still, by this point, we're still in the market cycle. And therefore, the big correction that the market tends to see at the end of the bull market cycle has not played out yet. As for price, well, this has Wax at $5. I think I'm not saying that $5 is going to be the peak for the cycle, and that I'm not saying either that we could get to $5. I'm saying if we do head to May of next year and the market cycle is not finished and Bitcoin's putting in new all-time highs, right? That's important. Bitcoin needs to be putting in new all-time highs for a while. Ideally we get all-time highs for Bitcoin in around maybe January. And then Bitcoin starts to trend higher and head to 100,000 and onwards. Then there's the chance that Wax follows this line and also continues to make its own all-time highs. And given what I've said about how it has a lower market cap, the NFT space is growing rapidly. There are a lot of people coming to this space. Coins like Wax could really go up in price quite significantly, and we could see moves. So from where we're at the moment, well, we're talking about nearly a 10x, so about a 900% move to get to that point. It's not so much about this point in particular, but it just shows a line that we're kind of heading on, and just, it's going to be something that I'll watch. And maybe in a month's time, we could be here in a month's time, right? Or well, a month's time will be the January. We could be around here in a month's time, and we're not on this side of the line. That's the important thing, that we haven't broke through this line, broke through our support, and are now hitting this as resistance, because that'll invalidate this line and we can't use it as support. But in a month or 2 months or even 3 months, we still could be above this line, and maybe we tested it. You know, it's unlikely we test it right here. We could test it earlier. We could come down here, or we could test it over here, or wherever it is. As long as we keep testing it and we keep getting support, anytime we decide to come down, like if you look at this stretch here, this stretch would be a 400% move, but that's a 71-day time period between testing the line of support. So 71 days where Wax kind of enters a big move, or did enter a big move. This is this period here, enters a big move without needing to actually test the line of support. So this is just one of the indicators I'll be following and making sure that Wax is testing this line of support. I mean, maybe this is the market cycle peak for Wax. Maybe February. You know, Bitcoin has just a massive January, and we see a big blow off top. And if the idea is if Bitcoin has a massive January, well, most other coins will follow it. So Wax will follow it, and maybe has a big move. And you know, from here, that's still a 400% move, and $2.50 is your big peak, and from there is a bit of a blow off top, and we come back down. And then when we come back down, we might have extended too far off the line, and we could just smash straight through this line of support and just head lower, because we could see upwards of like an 80% correction, right? And an 80% correction is going to be through here, which could happen. We could see an 80% correction at the end of this cycle. We've seen that in past cycles, and that'll be dependent on, you know, how parabolic we actually move as well. If we do move really parabolically, well, that tends to lead to high volatility and therefore big pullbacks and big market crashes, you could say, with 70 to 80% dips. So this is one of the things that I'll be following. As for the short term, as I said, there's not a lot in the charts, if I'm being honest. It's going to be one of those things where we just kind of wait and see, and just kind of see what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin stays at its current pace, I mean, Wax could head higher. But if Bitcoin does decide to have a move, if you have a look at Bitcoin, it's still trending between this like $51,000 area and 46K. So we kind of want it to break out to the upside, of course. And if that happens, that can give Wax a push to head higher and head back to these levels. And I just want to like reiterate that you don't forget about the move that Wax had. Like, Wax had a big move. Wax did have a really, really big move from back here, and so a pullback was required, and it was a big pullback, sure. Like, it definitely was a big pullback, but pullbacks are natural, and when a pullback happens to happen at the same time that Bitcoin takes a dip, well, then usually it'll head a lot lower than you might think is required. So I'll continue to watch Wax and see what plays out. I'm still bullish on this coin. I'm still bullish in crypto and the whole market in general. I think there's a ways to go for this market cycle, and I think a lot of coins, Wax included, will hit all-time highs and break through all-time highs and head higher. And head a lot higher. I think the total, you gotta look at it, I think the total market capitalization is gonna go a lot higher. From where it's at now is about 2.2 trillion. I think I have it here, 2.2 trillion. We got to 3 trillion at one point. I think we can go as high as 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 trillion by the end of the cycle, maybe even higher. I think conservatively would be about 4 or 5 trillion. And if that's the case, then, you know, that liquidity has to be spread within many coins, right? So we can see a lot of coins make some pretty big moves. And, you know, Wax has had quite a few parabolic moves. We see this move, like this one candle. That's 1 hour candle. Massive move. It obviously had a big correction, but it just shows how quickly Wax actually moved. You could take this, look at this move here, look at this move. Like, it's a pretty sharp parabolic moves that are actually quite significant. I mean, this was 80%. An 80% move just pretty quickly. And I just want to once again say the NFT space is continuing to grow. People are getting involved in it every day. There's new projects getting launched. There's just more utility and just more people getting exposed and into the space and learning about NFTs and its utility and how the metaverse and everything about it's just bringing more people to the market. I think there's so much room to grow, and therefore coins like Wax can really start to grow and develop. So I'll leave it there. Let me know what you think of Wax in the comments. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, guys. Please do that. And yeah, I'll catch you later.